here's the tutorial for how to do the inheritance gizmo. So first I'm going to launch it. I'm going to make sure I have both my tabs open here. And again, this is the inheritance gizmo. I've got a little landscape going on here. Don't know what to do with it yet, but I do see this create alien button, so that seems like it should be pretty fun. Let's take a look at it. So prior knowledge questions. Before I even get into the gizmo, what should I already kind of know? Number one, Johnny and Isabel are a young couple expecting their first child. Both have blue eyes, tattoos, and green hair. Which features do you think their child is most likely to have? And you're gonna make some checks here, all right? So both have blue eyes, tattoos, and green hair. I think they're most likely to have blue eyes. Now I don't know if this is a human couple. I don't know if Johnny and Isabel are humans or if they're aliens. But if they're humans, I know that green hair is not a natural hair color. So I don't think that this is just the hair they were born with and what their DNA is telling them to have. This is probably dyed green hair. And of course, these tattoos are artificially put on. So if I assume that this green hair has been dyed and the tattoos are not natural, then blue eyes would be the only trait that this couple could pass on to their children out of these three. Okay, features like eye color, skin tone, height, and hair color are called traits. What traits do you think children inherit or receive from their parents? Well, there's literally a million options. I'm gonna put height and really there's an unlimited option here, and it listed some already right here. Height, skin tone, something as simple as having 10 fingers. Like, believe it or not, you did inherit that trait from your parents. And there's literally millions here. Things that you shouldn't put are things like tattoos or knowledge or skills. Like, if your dad is a computer programmer and your mom is an artist, you're not just born with those talents. You'd have to develop them. Okay, the gizmo warm-up. In the inheritance gizmo, you can create and breed aliens on an imaginary planet. This does sound fun. Select asexual reproduction. Oh, so I could even choose what type of reproduction here. So select asexual reproduction. Here we go. So there's sexual reproduction, and here is asexual reproduction. Okay, during asexual reproduction, a single parent produces offspring, and offspring is another name for children. Click Create Alien and create your own alien. Describe its traits in the parent row of the table. Okay, so click Create Alien and create your own alien. That sounds fun. Okay, I clicked Create Alien and then create your own alien. All right, so I think I get to choose what traits it has, but I need to describe these traits in the parent row of the table. Okay, so it looks like I get to choose what body type, what skin color, what antenna shape, and what tattoo this parent has. So body type, I'm gonna say thin. Skin color, I'm gonna say blue. Antenna, I'm gonna say curly. And tattoo, I'm gonna say mom. Love my mom. So here is my parent alien. And remember, because it is asexual reproduction, I only have one parent. I don't need a second parent here. Okay, so now I need to put these in here. Body type, I said thin. Skin color, I said blue. Antenna shape, I said curly. And tattoo, I said mom. All right. Now, number 2 says, drag the parent over to the parent 1 space and press reproduce. Okay, I can do that. Click and drag to parent 1 and then click reproduce. There's an egg. It's my baby. Okay, this baby looks a lot like me, but It's missing something. Do you see what it's missing? There is no mom tattoo. It has curly antennas. It's got a thin body. Well, actually, it looks a little bit thicker, but maybe it's just closer. I don't know. Blue skin, one eye, and no mom tattoo. That is missing. That must be a trait that cannot be passed on. Okay. In the parent, drag the parent over to the parent one space and press reproduce. Fill in the offspring traits on the table above. What traits appear to be inherited from the parent? Well, my offspring is thin, skin color blue, antenna shape curly, and tattoo none. So offspring has inherited body type, skin color, and antenna shape, but not the tattoo. Because this offspring inherits traits from one parent, it is called a clone. All right, activity A. Get the gizmo ready. Select sexual reproduction. Okie dokie. Drop the remaining aliens, if any, in the exit hole. Seems a little bit like a self-destruct, but okay, so there are no remaining aliens, no one to self-destruct here, no exit hole. Okay. Question. Are all parental traits inherited by the offspring? Observe, in sexual reproduction, two parents pass traits to the offspring. Create and breed a variety of aliens. Record your observations below. Well, this just seems like free roam. Like, I'm going to do it a time or two here to show you what I'm doing, but you get to create and breed a variety of traits on your own and just record whatever observations you have on your own, okay? So let's see. I'm going to create an alien. Yeah, let's keep this dude. I'm going to say this is parent one, and then I'm going to create another alien, and I'm going to make this one medium, and I'm going to make skin color pink, and I'm going to make the antenna straight, and I'm going to have no tattoos for this one. And I'm going to make this parent 2. And then I'm going to click reproduce. These two things get busy, they have a baby, and looky here. I have some traits from both parents. This body type seems like it is medium, just like the mother, or I guess parent 2. The antenna is straight in both these parents. But there's also some blue from this parent, right? There is a variety going on here. Ooh, I can change the food supply? That's interesting. I'm going to just see what that does, because I don't know. Ooh, so now... Aha. So the food supply here affects the weight of the offspring, which makes sense, right? Because you do inherit traits from your parents, but also eating affects your body type, right? Whether you're thinner or larger is not 100% dependent upon your parents' DNA. Much of it is determined by your personal life choices, right? Okay, I like that they had that in there. Okay, so I'm gonna drop these down the exit hole. And actually, I'm gonna make this a parent. I'm gonna drop this down the exit hole. And I'm gonna create a new alien. This alien's gonna have thick, green, curly, and no tattoo. And these two are gonna reproduce. Let's see what happens here. So this parent gave his curly antenna to the child. This parent gave some of the pink spots to the child. And this parent, or I guess this food supply, is really the determiner of the shape of the body shape, right? That is something that seems to be the determiner. The majority of these are being affected, by the amount of food around. Let's just keep this at an even 5 bushes from now on. And This time it's a blue baby with green spots because it got blue from this parent, and then it also got green from this parent. Still curly antenna though. Let's hit reproduce a few more times and see what happens. Ooh, this one has straight antenna now, but still blue skin with green spots. Let's try again. Now we have curly antenna, blue skin with green spots. Let's try again. Now we have straight antenna, green skin, pink spots. This is genetic variation, right? And I would like you to write your observations here, but mostly these observations can be summed up by this statement. Every time offspring is made, it has traits from each parent, but every single time it produces a unique individual. We have genetic variation here. We're producing unique offspring because of sexual reproduction, right? Okay, form a hypothesis. Which traits do you think are passed down from alien parents to their offspring, and which traits are not? I think antenna, shape, skin color, I think those are passed down. And I think tattoos and body shape are caused by choices, right? How much you eat and whether or not you get a tattoo is going to affect these two things. All right, experiment. Here we get to the food supply. Set the food supply to 2 bushes. Create 2 identical parents with thick bodies, green skin, curly antennas, and triangle tattoos. Make 2 offspring and record their traits in the table below. All right, so set food supply to, you know what, time for these guys to go down the exit hole. You've been great aliens, but your time is over. Okay, so food supply is going to be 2 bushes. Okay. And then create 2 identical parents with thick bodies, green skin, curly antennas. Okay, thick bodies, green skin, curly. Oh, I already had that. Cool. And then tattoos. I think it said triangle tattoos. Let's check to make sure. And triangle tattoos. Make 2 offspring and record their traits in the table below. All right, so I'm going to want to do this one at a time. So create alien. Oh wait, I gotta drag. There we go. Create alien and drag. So these parents are identical, okay? But they have identical traits, but we are still gonna have them do sexual reproduction with 2 food bushes here. Interesting. So this trait of having curly antenna was passed down. So antenna shape is curly, and skin color was green, and body type was skinny or thin, right? Is it thin or skinny? Either way, same thing. Body type was thin. Tattoos, that did not get passed on. And you might expect the tattoo not to get passed on, but the body type did not get passed on either because we had thick parents and thin offspring. That kind of leads to our hypothesis from earlier about how much you eat determining your body shape more than just your DNA. Let's drop this baby down the exit hole and try again. That sounded dark. But it's just a game, right? All right, this one, again, curly antennas, no tattoo, and a thin body. This one was very similar to its adult, right? Or to the previous one. Oops, did I put skin color green? My mistake. Green skin color, antenna shape curly, and tattoos are still none. That's gonna bother me, so let's fix it. Okay. Compare the offspring traits to the parents. Which traits were passed from parent to offspring? Body type, and skin color. Actually, no, body type was not, right? It was skin color and antenna shape. Now you might be thinking, well, those two kids were the exact same, so that must mean there was no genetic diversity and sexual reproduction must not have happened. But think about it like this. We're only looking at like what, 2 traits here that can be passed on. Like we're looking at skin color and antenna shape. Those are the only traits that can be passed on in this scenario. In real life, you're going to have millions of traits that can come from parents. So you're going to have a lot more genetic diversity. Think about it sort of like this. If you have a blonde-haired mom and a blonde-haired dad, and you have 2 kids and they both have blonde hair, it's not that crazy, right? Like you kind of actually expect it. So the fact that we have a curly-haired or a curly antenna mom and a curly antenna dad, and the child has curly antennas and both of them did, that's not that surprising. Same thing with the skin color. There's still going to be lots of genetic diversity here if we looked at every single trait. So what traits were not passed down? Body type and tattoos. Traits that are not passed down or not inherited are called acquired traits. Create offspring with a few different levels of food supply. How does food supply affect the body type of the offspring? Okay, so let's send this kid off to college. That's a nicer term. Yeah. Let's do 5 bushes and reproduce. Now we've got a very medium build, right? Go to college. You're ready. Now let's try 10 bushes. And now we've got kind of a thicker build here, right? I'm going to try again. Yep. Being raised around a lot of food gives you a thicker build. Let's try it one last time. If we drop this down to like 4 bushes and reproduce. Fairly medium. And if we drop down to 1 bush of food, we have a very thin offspring, right? So that factor is very much controlled by the environment. So the more food available, the thicker the offspring gets. Think and discuss. Suppose a human child had a mother with dyed pink hair and a father who was missing a finger that he had lost in an accident. Would the child inherit these traits? No. Those traits were acquired, right? Here's our vocabulary word up here. Those traits were acquired traits, not traits found in the genetics. Okay, activity B. Clear all the parents and offspring by dropping them down the exit hole, which we decided was going to college. It's not just getting rid of them permanently. Okay. Create a green alien and a pink alien. Okie dokie. Oops. All right, so parent 1, we want to have green, and the only thing we're going to change here is pink. Now you're parent 2. Reproduce. Okay. Oh, predict. Ooh, I should be predicting. Predict. What do you think the offspring of a green alien and a pink alien will look like? I'm going to put a mix of both, because I've kind of already seen this, right? And, here is the child. It is a mix of both. Let's see. Skin is inherited from both parents. Okay. When offspring show a mixture of parent traits, the traits are called codominant traits. All right, we've learned about dominant traits and recessive traits. Remember how I told you that it was a little bit more complicated than that? Some traits are called codominant traits. which means there's not one that overpowers the other. They are equally dominant, okay? Which means they're both going to show up. If it was a dominant trait versus a recessive trait, then like let's say pink was dominant here. If pink was dominant over green, the child would just be 100% green, right? But in this case, we get both. And if we do it over and over, we'll probably get similar results each time. Maybe one of these times we'll have pink being like the more common. Maybe not. Maybe it's just set to be green with pink spots. We'll have to learn a little bit more about this, but so far I'm getting very similar results every time. Okay. What do you think will happen if you breed 2 green and pink spotted aliens? Ooh. So, if I breed 2 green and pink spotted aliens, wait, did I just mess that up? I need to get green and pink spotted. Okay, now, here we go. Now I have 2 green and pink spotted aliens. Let's see what happens. Whoa. Just pure pink? What the heck? Does that happen every time? No. Interesting. So this is giving me like either or, right? One of the times I got just pink, one of the times I got just green. Now I have it. All right, so I had multiple options here. I had one that was just green, I had one that was just pink, and I've got one that is green and pink spotted now too. That is fascinating. You can get all green, all pink, or a mix. Lots of genetic variation, right? Now we want to run an experiment. Follow these steps. You may have already done this, or you may have already done the first step or two. Place a green alien and a pink alien in 1 and 2. Drag both offspring below the nest. Drag the 2 green and pink offspring to become new parent 1 and parent 2. So this is what I just did. Breed these aliens 10 times. Record how many times each skin color occurs in their offspring. Okay, so now I need to start keeping track. Let's start right now. I will do 1 test. Okay, that's all pink. All right, so now I need to put a tally right there. We have 1 all pink offspring. Let's go to the next one. I've got 2 all pink offspring. Let's try again. There is a green and a pink spotted. So I'll put that right there. Anyway, you're going to go through and do this 10 times. All right, so far I've done it 3. You do your own experiments here, okay? And then we'll find the results. And then based on your own results, what kind of skin did most of the offspring have? You look at your numbers here, okay? Your numbers aren't my numbers. These are your own numbers. Did all of the offspring have green and pink skin? What do you think? Think and discuss. For a co-dominant trait, do the offspring of identical parents always look like the parents? No. So some of these times, like we'll try it. Hopefully it works. So this offspring doesn't look like either of the parents, right? This is green with pink spots. This is green with pink spots. And what do we have here? Just green. No pink spots at all. So in this case, it inherited green from both parents. It looks like each parent could have given either green or pink. And if one parent gives green and one gives pink, you have a mix. But what if they both give green, right? Then you're going to leave out pink entirely. So these parents are identical, but they still do have traits received from the parents, but the color pink was completely left out. In the example trial that I did, right? This caused, let's try again. Now this one does look exactly like the parents, right? And this one looks exactly like the parents. This one received pink from both parent and looks pretty different, right? A lot of genetic variation. Okay. Don't know why there's such a big gap there, but let's go down to activity C. Oh, this is a short one. Sweet. Clear all the aliens by sending them to college, aka the exit. Okay. Create 2 aliens, one with straight antenna and one with curly. That's all it said. That's all I need to know. I'm going to go thin, pink, and straight. Okay. And then on this one, I'm going to go medium, blue, and straight. Because that's all that mattered was that, oops, no. Okay. All right, because all I cared about here was the straight antenna. Okay. So, oh wait, one with straight antenna and one with curly. Oh, I messed up. I need to read instructions better, don't I? And this time, I'm going to do curly. Okay, now I'm following. No, I am struggling. I must be in a hurry. Okay, now I have one with straight, one with curly. Okay. What do you think will happen when you breed an alien with straight antenna and one with curly antenna? I don't know. Maybe offspring could get either. I don't know. Let's find out. We're going to test it. Create at least 5 offspring. And I want you to do this, but I'll do it too. Reproduce. I'll do 5. Okay, option 1 had straight antenna. Option 2 had straight antenna. Option 3 had straight antenna. Option 4 had straight antenna. Option 5, straight antenna. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. 6, straight antenna. 7, straight antenna. Okay, I'm starting to think that maybe straight antenna is dominant over curly antenna because I'm now 7 for 7. You do your own test too and see if that's right. So I'm going to put straight antenna was inherited every time. Sometimes when 2 traits are combined, one is a dominant trait and the other is a recessive trait. We know this, right? If both traits are present, only the dominant trait is seen in the offspring. So straight antenna must be very dominant. Let's say straight. And then curly is the recessive one. I never saw that. Take 2 of the straight antennaed offspring and breed them together to produce 10 new offspring. Record the antenna type of each offspring. Okay. So, wait, what did it tell me to do? Take 2 of the straight antenna offspring, okay, and breed them together. So here's one of the offspring. Okay. And then I need to have 2 straight antennaed offspring here. Okay. Maybe there's a better way to do this. I don't know. But here I have 2 straight antennaed offspring. Now, I know that these children, these offspring, had a parent with curly antenna, right? So is that curly antenna DNA hiding as a recessive trait in these parents? Let's find out. 2 straight antennaed offspring. Number 1 was straight. Number 2, straight. Number 3, straight. Number 4, straight. Number 5, straight. Am I going to get any curly here? I think I'm supposed to be getting curly here. Aha. There it is, the curly one. So most of them still had straight antenna, right? Because that's the dominant trait. But because each of these parents have apparently a hiding recessive curly trait, that means if they both pass on that curly trait, their child will have curly antenna. This is like having red hair or blue eyes. There's a 1 in 4 chance with these parents that the child is going to have curly hair. So, most had straight, but a few I know I only got 1, but I probably would have got a second one if I did 10. It did not disappear entirely. How can the trait skip a generation? So the DNA never skips a generation, but showing the trait can skip a generation. So because both parents had a recessive curly antenna trait hiding in their DNA, there is still a chance for the curly trait to be passed on. You just need both parents to give that recessive curly trait at the same time, right? If only one gives the recessive trait, it doesn't show up. For a dominant and recessive trait, do the offspring of identical parents always look like the parents? Explain. No. I had one simulation where both parents had straight, but the kid had curly. Compare. How do the offspring of two parents that reproduce sexually differ from the offspring of a single parent that produces asexually? As you know, asexual reproduction leads to clones. So in asexual reproduction, I'm going to put in capitalized, all offspring would be clones. In sexual reproduction, you get a variation in the kids. And that is the name of the game, folks. Genetic variation comes from sexual reproduction. Okay, I hope that helped. If you want to continue playing around with these aliens, you can. It is kind of fun. Remember to submit this gizmo and ask me for questions. Thanks. Hope it helped.